Compton, California, a city where dreams and danger collide on every corner. For decades, it's been a breeding ground for culture, creativity, and crime. But behind the headlines and stereotypes are real stories of struggle and survival. Well, today's story is about Demario Wiggins, a Centennial High School football player, and his best friend, Tajay Sims, who walks a much darker path as an active gangbanger. While they both have hopes that Demario's success will one day pull them out their harsh realities, decisions made out of desperation could potentially turn their dreams into a nightmare.
Whole life been problematic. Niggas talking about he killed shit till we caught his ass, left him dead in traffic. Damn, that's tragic. Now pour your liquor, your dead homies, yeah, I piss on them niggas. All of my Glocks, they came with extensions. Walk in the tank and I'm feeling the tension. Oh man, yeah, I shoot at your granny house knowing that I am dead wrong. Opposition went against the tribe, man. That nigga caught him a headstone. That's that shit we be on. 223 point blank, get shit on. PFG, that's gang, my nigga. Real life movie, we really get with you feel me, my nigga? Good life, now fuck it, this hood life. All of my life I've been fighting. Right hook stinging like lightning. Dropping these bodies, we ducking indictments. Talking to feds and we doing them trifling. Dead odds, yeah, that's keeping me smiling. Hop inside of my 6'4" Impala. Under the seat, I'm keeping the chopper. Good life, now fuck it, this hood life. Good life, now fuck it, this hood life. We really about it, y'all really gon' see. We reppin' the tribe, that's PFG. All of my niggas, we come from the streets. Living the diet, and that's what it be. Hood life, yeah. Hood life.
Demario was the younger of two brothers, born to Tawanda Hamilton, a fierce but loving single mother who worked long hours to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads. His older brother Isaiah was Demario's first hero, a talented basketball player with dreams of one day making it to the league and playing pro. Isaiah was the rock to their small family, always looking out for Demario and of course helping their mother in any way he could. Well, everything changed when Demario was just 14. Isaiah would be unfortunately killed in a house fire. As I'm sure you can imagine, his death sent shockwaves through their family, and Tawanda, who had always been a pillar of strength, began to crumble under the weight of her grief. Not only that, but shortly thereafter, she was diagnosed with a rare kidney disease. Despite the chaos at home, Demario found peace on the football field. From the moment he first put on his helmet, it was clear that he had a gift. His speed, strength, and agility made him a standout. Football became his sanctuary, a place where he could channel his pain and anger and also escape from the grief of his brother's absence and his mother's illness. Now, Tajay's story would be somewhat similar to Demario's in the sense that they both experienced traumatic loss early in life. As a matter of fact, Tajay's first few moments on Earth were filled with trauma, as his mother Lisa unfortunately passed away while giving birth, leaving him to be raised alone by his father, Marcus, who transformed his life from a violent past as a gang member to a respected community activist in the city of Compton. Marcus worked extremely hard to create programs and provide help for at-risk teens and really anybody in need. Now, even though he had his flaws, to Tajay, his father was a hero and a living testament of redemption. But the past always has a funny way of catching up to you. The Compton Vagos, a large street gang rumored to have ties to the Mexican Mafia, and the 12th Street Paru had been at war for years, with each side suffering multiple casualties. Well, Marcus, being a reputable leader from 12th Street, set up peace talks with the Vagos, and both sides agreed to a ceasefire, officially putting an end to a 16-year-old war. Now, to the community, this ceasefire was a victory for both sides, but to the Compton Sheriff's Department and the powers that be, Black and brown peace was bad for their business, and unfortunately for Marcus, he was one of the main organizers in the peace treaty, so he became target number one. When Tajay was only 11, his father Marcus was arrested for a murder that he was supposedly involved in years ago. Till this day, Marcus still claims his innocence, and members from 12th Street feel he was framed, but nonetheless, Tajay's world would be shattered. His stable life was ripped away as Marcus was sentenced to 35 years in prison, which at his age is all but a death sentence. As a result of that, Tajay was placed into the foster care system for a short time, but then eventually released to the care of his grandmother. Alright, so look, we gonna fast forward to Demario's sophomore year at Centennial High School, or what's often referred to as Blood Central. See, growing up in Compton and not being gang related, I mean, it's definitely possible, but going to a blood school while living in a Crip neighborhood, yeah, that makes things a little bit complicated. See, after Isaiah's death, Tawanda packed up what was left of their home and moved her and Demario to this nice 2-bedroom house. Well, their house is located in the area in Compton known as the Back Blocks, which is occupied by several different Compton Crip gangs. To DeMario, that didn't matter though, because he was a student athlete and not gang related, but he would have to walk through the back blocks to get to school, and it wouldn't take long for them to notice that he was walking through their projects every day, going to Centennial, a blood school. Now, by this time, Tajay was already fully engulfed in gang life. He was an active member from 12th Street and looking to make a name for himself. Well, one day while in traffic, Tajay saw DeMario running for his life. A few members from the back blocks was on his heels. Now, this was none of Tajay's business because DeMario wasn't from the P. So Tajay really could have just kept it pushing, but him deciding to stop and help would change both of their lives forever. DeMario was faced with a tough decision. Either join 12th Street and have some form of protection, or continue to get terrorized by the Compton Crips. Well, after weighing out his options, his decision was made, and the next day, he was in the backyard getting his put on. Now, we all know you're not supposed to try to win in no put on, but I guess DeMario didn't know that, so he was back there fighting for his life. Man, they beat the sleeves off his ass, but surprisingly, he held his own. And at the end of the day, he was officially a member from 12th Street. But there was one problem. He also was a member of the Centennial High School football team, and it wouldn't be long before the two worlds started to collide. There were high expectations for DeMario coming into his sophomore season. He was one of the only freshmen that played on varsity the year before, so of course the coaches were expecting him to have a huge impact. He spent his whole summer in the gym, working on his balance and trying to add on a little bit of size. By the time the season started, he looked like a totally different player than he was his freshman year. In the first 2 games of the season, he was able to make several big plays on special teams, returning kicks and punts. And then when they gave him the ball out the backfield, he had some success there as well. The future was looking very bright for DeMario, but as I mentioned before, his involvement with 12th Street would begin to interfere with his performance on the field. Tajay and DeMario grew super close. Now, I believe they bonded together through trauma, but yeah, they became like best friends. Unfortunately though, DeMario picked up a bad habit while hanging out with Tajay. The two would often skip class to smoke, and if they weren't smoking, they was probably sipping lean, which in my opinion negatively affected DeMario the most when it came time to perform on the field. Jumping ahead to their junior year of high school, all the buzz surrounding DeMario had basically died down. After a piss-poor sophomore season, the coaches at Centennial seemed to have moved on from him and placed their attention elsewhere. Not only that, they even stopped allowing him to suit up and play varsity, and instead they placed him on the JV team. This was a huge blow to DeMario's confidence, and in his mind, he felt like playing JV was pointless. So after only 3 games, he quit the team altogether. Now, it was the total opposite for Tajay. Yeah, the buzz surrounding his name in Compton was at an all-time high. An incident at a skating rink turned deadly, and unfortunately, a beloved member from 12th Street lost his life. Now, this wasn't just any member. Nah, he was a real trophy from the B team. And not only that, he was also one of Tajay's closest friends. And to make matters worse, the Volusia Block Crip took responsibility for the shooting. And with them being located in the back blocks, yeah, that pretty much meant it was wartime for every Crip set over there. 12th Street held the candlelight vigil for their fallen member, and several other Pyru hoods came out to pay their respect. Well, shortly after everyone left, the memorial that they set up was destroyed, and members from Volusia Block recorded it and posted it online. Now, of course, Tajay responded with a message of his own, seemingly letting everybody know that he was out for revenge. About a week or so later, one punch from 211 Pyru and Tajay found themselves deep in the back blocks looking for anybody from that side with the reputation. Once they found their target, the play was in motion. See, Tajay was supposed to hop out, do his shit, and then one punch would pick him up at the end of the corner. With the Compton Sheriff's substation only a few blocks away, they'd have to be quick, but they didn't know just how prepared the sheriff actually were. Yeah, the sheriff set up several command posts all throughout the back hoods because they knew 12th Street would be seeking retaliation. So just as soon as Tajay started to let off shots, police cruisers were already pulling up to the scene. Rather than try to make it back to the car, Tajay decided to try to escape on foot. For the next hour or so, the sheriff had the entire neighborhood shut down, but they weren't able to find him. Well, that's when they brought out the K9s, and within a matter of minutes, they would find Tajay hiding in the dumpster. DeMario sat in his bedroom, staring at his phone. News traveled fast through the streets of Compton. Everyone knew Tajay was the one who let off the shots, so that meant the war was officially underway. For the next few days, DeMario didn't go to school. His mom, Tawanda, noticed something was off, but she didn't really have any strength to press him on it. Her health was declining, and she spent most of her days resting, hooked up to her dialysis machine in the living room. Well, one night, as DeMario was on the game, he heard a soft knock at the door. It was Tawanda.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but I can tell it's something. I heard about that mess with Tajay, and I just hope you're not involved. Look, losing Isaiah almost broke me, and I couldn't handle losing you. So please don't let it come to that. Whatever you were involved in, please just walk away, son.
Later that night, DeMario laid in his bed staring at the ceiling. His mother's words kept replaying in his head, but he knew he had nowhere to run. Since the first day Tajay and DeMario met, they basically been glued at the hip. You'd rarely ever see one without the other. So that meant if the Crips couldn't get to Tajay, DeMario was the next best thing. For the first time in about a week, DeMario returned to Centennial. He was hoping that all the talk and rumors surrounding his name would have died down, but nah, it was the exact opposite. People were saying that he was the one driving the car when Tajay did the shooting, and some were even saying that he fled to Tijuana. You know, just a bunch of crazy rumors, but nonetheless, he was back. Now, before all this happened, football was the furthest thing from his mind. But after that talk with his moms, DeMario felt like he needed to start working on an escape plan. So after first period, he went down to Coach Green's office to talk about rejoining the team. There were still a few games left in the season and he wanted to get back on the field, but nah, Coach wasn't having it. He told DeMario that he shouldn't have quit in the first place, and he was wrong for giving up on his teammates like that. He said if DeMario wanted any chance to play for the program again, it would have to be next year, and he would also have to raise his grades. Now, this definitely wasn't the response DeMario was expecting. I mean, he just sat there dumbfounded, really not knowing what his next move was going to be. We've all heard stories about the men's LA County Jail and how treacherous it can be on the inside. Well, the juvenile hall isn't much better, especially for Tajay, considering what he was in there for. Luckily for him, though, he wasn't alone. There were several other Bloods being held at that same facility, so that meant Tajay would at least get head-up fades instead of getting packed out. Now, the tension between the Compton Bloods and Crips was already high, especially since the death of two active from 12th Street. Well, Tajay shooting Collegiate sent things overboard. Instead of every Blood and Crip car kicking off a melee, they decided to just let Compton handle their own business. So that meant Tajay would have to line it up with several members from Volusia Block. Now, he was no stranger to squabbling. His pops Marcus was known for whooping ass back in the day. So of course, he made damn sure his son knew how to defend himself. Tajay had like 10 back-to-back fades lined up, and he did his thing for the first couple, but eventually fatigue started to set in, and well, yeah, it was all bad. He suffered some pretty serious bumps and bruises, but I'm afraid that was the least of his concern. The LA County District Attorney has had it out for Tajay's father Marcus since his days as a detective. As a matter of fact, he's the one that pushed for the murder case to be reopened, which sent Marcus back to prison. Well, now he's pushing for Tajay to be tried as an adult on his attempted first-degree murder case, and if convicted, he could face life in a state prison. DeMario had his mind set on being able to rejoin the team, so when the head coach wouldn't allow it, he felt like there was really no point in going to school anymore. See, for a lot of kids, sports are the only reason they go to school in the first place, so when you take that away from them, they tend to go off the deep end. Well, DeMario was no different. He started spending more time in the set than he did at school. Not only that, but his mom knew it was way too dangerous for him to be walking around, so she started allowing him to drive her car. What initially seemed like a good idea to keep him safe quickly turned into the complete opposite. One day, DeMario and a few others caught Rampage from the back block slipping at a convenience store and almost beat his ass to death. Of course, DeMario was driving when this happened, so since that moment, Tawanda's car has become associated with 12th Street, and not just to the enemies, but to the police as well. It became common for the Compton sheriff to randomly pull DeMario over, and almost every time, one of his homies went to jail for a blower. Well, apparently the Crips had been following DeMario, tracking his every move through the streets of Compton. Tawanda's car had become a target. Well, one day they spotted it in traffic, pulled up next to it, and aired it out, unfortunately killing everybody inside. Tajay's grandmother came through in a major way. she was able to secure a paid lawyer to help fight his case. Now, he wasn't no Johnny Cochran or anything like that, but they felt he was good enough to get the job done. Now, the goal wasn't to prove Tajay was innocent, but rather knock the charges down from attempted murder to maybe aggravated assault and have him charged as a minor. Since Tajay didn't have any priors, his lawyer was pretty confident he'd be able to get the job done, but there was one problem. Tajay couldn't stay out of trouble while he was in custody. Somehow, them young niggas managed to turn the juvenile hall into a gladiator school. And what makes things even crazier, the guards were the ones organizing it all. As a matter of fact, it got so bad that the LA Times even wrote a full article about it. Every day there was a new fight or stabbing, and of course Tajay was right in the middle of it all. Not only that, but he also got a few tattoos as well. It was beginning to look like Tajay had his mindset on being a crash out. Well, that was until he got a visit from his grandmother. See, Tajay's grandmother was really all he ever had growing up after his father went to prison. They developed an unbreakable bond, and she was really the most important person in his life. So it hurt to see how disappointed she was. Not only that, but she was also getting up in age and beginning to struggle with diabetes. During the visit, she scolded her grandson and told him the truth that he really didn't want to hear. She let him know that his choices not only affected him, but also her as well. And she reminded him that she didn't have much time left to keep trying to save him from himself. Her words seemed to really have gotten through to Tajay, but right before the end of the visit, she reached into her purse and pulled out an envelope. She slid it across the table and asked that he read it with an open heart and an open mind. Later that night, Tajay opened the letter and began to immediately get emotional. It was from his father, Marcus, whom he hadn't talked to in years. Tajay cut off all communication with his pops about 2 years into his sentence, and eventually Marcus stopped reaching out as well. I guess the word had gotten to his father about all the drama surrounding his son's name, so he decided to reach out again. And quite honestly, this may have been the perfect time. Tawanda sat in total disbelief as members from the Compton gang unit explained that her car was the intended target of the shooting that left an innocent family of 4 dead. She knew DeMario had some involvement in the streets, but she had no idea his life was on the line. DeMario was just as shocked as his mother. He knew had that been the correct car, there's no question he would have been dead. The detective on the case recommended that they leave the city at least until they can get the war under control. Tawanda took his advice, and by the end of that night, she had already found a new place for her and DeMario to live. A 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment about 45 minutes away from Compton in Pasadena. That's where they relocated. Of course, Pasadena has its own gangs and politics, but if DeMario just stayed out the way, he'd be good. Milton High was the new school that he'd be transferring to. It's very prestigious when it comes to academics, but sports, yeah, not so much. Besides, DeMario was so far removed from football that he wouldn't be ready to play even if he could. It didn't take long for DeMario to get adjusted at Milton. I mean, after just a few weeks, he had already found a new friend group and he seemed to be fitting in pretty well. Not only that, but he had also hooked up with one of the baddest girls at the school, Alexis Moore. See, DeMario has always saw himself as a ladies' man, you know, a wannabe player, but when he met Alexis, all that went out the window. Even though they were complete opposites, the two bonded instantly and seemed to be the perfect match. See, Alexis was a good kid, never skipped school, never smoked before, none of that. Well, DeMario was a good kid as well, but he had his vices, and it wouldn't be long before they started rubbing off on Alexis. Instead of going to her evening job after school, every couple days she would take off and meet DeMario at the beach. They'd sit out there for hours, talk, smoke, argue, laugh, joke, and everything else. I mean, the two were in love, but there was one problem. Next year, Alexis would be leaving for college. DeMario, on the other hand, hadn't planned that far ahead. He was just living in the moment and not really too concerned about his future. Senior year came and DeMario decided to give football another shot. He hadn't played since basically his sophomore year, but he was still pretty confident that he can get out there and make some plays. Milton's football team was trash, and DeMario didn't make it much better. He was out of shape from all the drinking and smoking, so the things that initially made him good, like his speed and athleticism, were completely gone. They'd only win 3 games the entire season, and at the end of it all, DeMario didn't earn a single scholarship. So he just decided to follow Alexis and walk on to the team at San Jose State. He gained a little bit of attention from the scouts at San Jose State during his senior season in Milton, but like I said, he didn't perform well enough for them to offer him a scholarship. So when DeMario walked onto the team, they had him rated as a 69 overall and the 4th running back on the roster. The team spring game would be his first real chance to prove to the coaches that he was a lot better than his ranking. But there was one problem. They never gave him a handoff out the backfield. The entire game he was lined up as slot receiver. And he did his thing. He was able to score a touchdown, finish the game with a few catches, but it was right then and there that he knew he was about to get redshirted. Over the course of his freshman year, DeMario put in work. He never got to see the field on game days, so his practices were his game days. He was going hard on every rep and really making improvements. Midway through the team season, he moved up one slot to the 3rd string running back. Now, he was hoping that he would finally get a chance to get on the field, but that never happened. Well, kicking off the next season, DeMario had finally moved up to the 2nd string running back, and he got a new number. He'd also finally start getting reps in the game, but of course it came at receiver. Well, that was until the starting running back got injured, so that meant it was finally time for DeMario to shine. DeMario would finally get his first start, and it would come at home versus the 2-6 Colorado State Rams. Now, although he was technically the starting running back, he would still be splitting reps with his backup. So basically the coaches were trying to figure out who the new primary running back was going to be while Jabari Bates was out with the injury. Now, there was one big problem during this game, and that was every single time DeMario made a big play, the coaches immediately called him over to the sideline. So for example, here they are right here, 1st and 10, he runs it up the field for like 30 yards, and then he's taken out literally into the 2nd quarter. That's crazy, man. I don't know what they was thinking, but here's another example. They were pinned back into their own end zone, makes a huge play, and then immediately taken out of the game. Now, I got to give a lot of credit to DeMario for being able to keep his composure and not let the coach's antics throw him off his game. I mean, here's another example. He makes a huge play coming out the backfield. Just watch this, bro. He had a chance to score. He takes him all the way down to the goal line, and then he gets snatched out the game. But I think I know what the coaches were doing. I believe they were maybe trying to test and see where his mentals was. See how he was going to respond to adversity. And credit to him, man, he did his thing. So the Rams were able to score 10 points, and finally the coaches would put DeMario back into the game when it was basically over. But it's all good, man. Every play counts. Here he is on the swing route coming out the backfield, able to pick up the first down while juking his defender. And you guessed it, man, Buddy is headed straight to the sideline. Even through all the coaches' antics, DeMario was still able to have a pretty solid day on the field, and the Spartans were able to pick up a win at home. So hopefully DeMario solidified himself as the first option coming out the backfield, and hopefully next week will be a little bit different. The Spartans' next game will be on the road taking on the New Mexico Hobos. Now, the Hobos did have a 5-4 record as well, so they were a pretty solid opponent. Now, an early interception put the Spartans in perfect field position, and DeMario was able to score his first touchdown of the game. Just as I expected, DeMario was awarded the starting running back position. Now, I don't know if that was a permanent position or just while Jabari Bates was out, but nonetheless, it was his job for the moment, so all he had to do was take advantage of the opportunity. And if I'm being real, man, he went out there and did his thing. Now, I think the best part about his game is how diverse he is. I mean, he's a weapon on the ground, and he's also a weapon through the air. I mean, they did have him playing slot receiver the whole first half of the season, so his hands must be elite. The Spartan offense was looking pretty good, bro. Like I said before, man, DeMario was doing his thing, and about the halfway point through the 2nd quarter, he was actually able to find the end zone again for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Now, jumping ahead to about 40 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, the Spartans had pretty good field position, man, and they were looking to make a run for that end zone. DeMario was able to come up with a tough catch over the middle, and it was looking like they may have to settle for a field goal, but the tight end came up clutch, breaking 2 tackles. When do you see a tight end run like that? Like, that's like some Travis Kelce type sorcery or whatever the word is. But anyways, they were able to find the end zone again right before halftime. Coming out in the second half, the Titans had a pretty comfortable lead, and it started to look like they were ready to pull away. As a matter of fact, DeMario did exactly that, pulling away from the defense all the way to the end zone, but he decided to get a little big-headed and celebrate too early and got hawked down by the Hobo defense. But no worries, man. They gave the ball back to him right outside the goal line, and he was able to score his 3rd touchdown of the game, giving the Spartans a huge lead. With the 21-point lead in the 3rd quarter, normally you would kind of see the coaches take their foot off the gas pedal, but nah, bro. I guess they wanted all the smoke, or maybe they were trying to prove a point, because they were definitely still passing the ball. As a matter of fact, right here on 2nd and 9, they would actually go deep through the air and find the wide receiver wide open over the top of the defense. And that actually ended up being the nail in the coffin, as the Spartans were able to stump The Hobos 42-7, bruh. And not only that, but DeMario did his thing, finishing with 141 rushing yards on only 18 attempts and 3 touchdowns. After the game, DeMario was awarded the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week. Now keep in mind, this is coming after his first start of the season, so I'm pretty sure that means he's just getting started. There's only more good things to come. Now, so far with DeMario as a starter, the offense has been looking better than ever, and of course, the defense always does their thing. Well, this week, they'd be at home taking on their rival, Hawaii. Now, with the win here, they would officially become bowl eligible, and that would be 3 wins in a row, so let's see if they're able to pull it off. Now, there's 2 things you'll notice about this game. First and foremost, man, we gotta acknowledge them uniforms. That all black looks so lovely on the field. I can't even lie, bro. Under them lights, it just hit a little bit different. And the second thing, for some reason, the Spartans were really pass heavy. I mean, oftentimes, as you can see right here, they had DeMario lined up out wide, and every single time he made the defense pay. So as I mentioned before, man, he's really become a weapon in the passing game. And honestly, I think he may have a future if he decided to switch positions. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Should DeMario stay in the backfield as a running back, or should he line up at that slot receiver? With just over 3 minutes left in the second quarter, the Spartan defense had pitched the shutout up until that point. Now, the offense had worked their way to right outside the goal line, and what do you know? That tight end comes up clutch right over the middle of the defense for 6, increasing the lead to 2 touchdowns. There was about 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Spartans had a 14-0 lead. Now, of course, they were sitting pretty comfortable, but it was still too early to take their foot off the gas. So, the pass game was still in full effect. DeMario came out the backfield and showed off his soft hands catching the screen pass. Now, in this play, he shows off how, again, he's an elite receiver, catching the ball over the top of the defense and completely running over his defender, finding his way into the end zone. Now, of course, the Spartans were able to pull off the 21-point victory over Hawaii, giving them the bragging rights in this year's rivalry game. So over the course of the past 3 games, DeMario has been doing his thing. I mean, the team looks better than ever and things seem to be headed in the right direction. But there's a problem. Jabari Bates just came back from injury, and you know the saying, man, you never lose your job to an injury. So that means DeMario is no longer the starting running back, and Jabari Bates, now that he's healthy, will get his spot back. The Spartans' next game would be on the road taking on a 3-8 Wyoming team. Now, unfortunately, since DeMario did lose his starting spot, there aren't very many highlights for me to show. Now, like I said before, bro, I think at any moment he can make the transition to a slot receiver and have a great deal of success. But for right now, I mean, he's just a backup running back getting a few reps here and there at receiver. Now, I think when you look at the 2 teams' record, you probably expect the Spartans to just walk over this Wyoming team, but unfortunately, that certainly wasn't the case. And quite honestly, I think we all know why. I mean, with DeMario not starting in the backfield, I think the offense was a little bit out of sync. Now, that's expected being that Jabari was just coming back into the starting lineup, but I mean, if it's not broke, then why try to fix it? Anyways, the Spartans were able to pick up the victory on the road, but honestly, it wasn't pretty. They were only able to find the end zone 1 time. Only 1 time. That's crazy, bruh, but a win is a win. After his performance versus Wyoming, the coaches felt it was finally time to go ahead and give DeMario a chance to take over the starting running back spot. Yeah, he officially unlocked a position battle versus Jabari Bates. Now, I know normally when you get injured, that doesn't mean you lose your starting job. As soon as you come back from injury, you should jump right into the starting lineup. But in this case, I don't know. Anyways, during the position battle, of course, DeMario went out there and did his thing. He was able to beat out Jabari Bates in 2 of the 3 challenges and officially became the starting running back for the rest of the season. Man, y'all see what it is. It was bowl time. The Spartans finally reached the big stage, and they'll be taking on the TCU Horned Frogs in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl game. Now, of course, we all know that this wasn't the most prestigious bowl game there is, but hey, this is a real prestigious opponent that they'll be facing. I mean, TCU is no pushover. Not only that, DeMario was finally back in the starting lineup, and the Spartans were finally ranked within the top 25 teams in the nation. Now, the Spartans came out pretty fast, man. It looked like they were about to find their way into the end zone, but unfortunately, a fumble put a stop to all that. Luckily, their defense, though, was able to stop TCU and put the ball right back into the hands of DeMario and his Spartan offense. Now, for DeMario, this was really his first big test of the season. I mean, TCU by far was the best team that he got a chance to play all year, so I was pretty excited to see how he was going to perform on this stage. 2nd and 10, looks like DeMario will take the counter out the backfield, and he picks up a huge first down, man. They definitely gonna need a few more plays like that if they're gonna have any success in this game. But a few plays later on 3rd and 6, the quarterback completely, I don't even know what to call it, man. He threw it straight to the defense, and that is another turnover for the Spartan offense in this game. 56 seconds left in the first half. Let's see if the quarterback got some redemption in him. And he does. He threw an absolute dart over the top of the defense, moving them right outside the red zone. Let's go, 33 seconds. DeMario able to go ahead and pick up the small gain. 22 seconds, DeMario wide open, and he's able to find the end zone even in the score right before halftime. Now, I keep telling y'all, bro, if push come to shove and his back is against the wall, I honestly think DeMario could switch to slot receiver with no problem. I mean, here he is again, wide open, finding space in the defense, making plays. I think dog is tremendously talented. Anyways, 3rd and 12. And another interception, bro. I don't know if the quarterback has his eyes closed or what, but that's like, what, 4 turnovers today? All right, so here we go, man. TCU was able to jump out to a 3-point lead after that interception. Now, we all know when you playing these top tier teams in college football, you can't afford to turn over the ball. And the Spartans already got it seems like 5 or 6 turnovers already. So we gonna see what they can do. Now, it looks like they definitely giving DeMario a chance to have his impact on the game. He was able to work the ball down to the 1-yard line. The quarterback keeps it, and he comes up just a yard short. Now, the Spartans did decide to go ahead and kick the field goal, tying it up at 10. They were able to get the stop and take back possession of the ball with 2 minutes left in the game. Let's see what they can do with it. The quarterback dropping back. He has a clean pocket, and he throws an absolute dart to his receiver over the middle, and he may score the 30, the 20, the 10, and he will go completely untouched to the end zone. Now, as we all know, 2 minutes is a lot of time to leave on the clock, so TCU was able to get a touchdown of their own. But here oh my God, bro, wide open over the middle. The quarterback makes up for all the interceptions he's thrown this game and throws a walk-off touchdown to seal the deal, man. The Spartans were able to pick up the bowl game victory. Man, I love to see it. That was a great game that went all the way down to the wire. At the end of the season, DeMario took home several awards. He made the freshman All-American, the second team All-American, the Mountain West Conference first team All-American. I mean, he really did his thing. Now, of course, being that the season just ended, he has a decision to make. Will he stay with the Spartans for next season, or will he jump into the transfer portal? The courtroom was empty. The only person that showed up in support of Tajay was his grandmother. Nobody from 12th Street, not even DeMario. He just sat there, awaiting his sentence. His lawyer was able to put up a pretty decent fight, but in the end, he was still found guilty. But that was expected. Luckily though, the lawyer was able to convince the judge to charge Tajay as a juvenile and knock the charges down from attempted first-degree murder to just shooting at an inhabited dwelling. Leading up to the trial, Tajay was a menace in the juvenile hall. During a raid of his cell, COs found several weapons and a cell phone. That, on top of the constant fighting and misconduct with staff and other inmates, he landed himself in the maximum security pod. There, he spent the majority of his time alone, which forced him to actually sit down and reflect on the decisions that led to him being there in the first place. After receiving that letter from his pops, Tajay read it a few times before deciding if he should write back or not. Eventually, he decided to go ahead and respond to his father, and that eventually led to the two communicating back and forth and reestablishing the relationship that had been lost. In the end, Tajay received a 7-year sentence with the possibility of early release upon his 18th birthday, but that early release would be based upon his behavior and his rehabilitation progress. Tajay didn't flinch when he received his sentence. He just stood there, eyes straight forward with a blank expression on his face. His granny, however, let off a soft sigh of relief behind him. She was exhausted. The stress from all this had taken a toll on her, and as Tajay was being led out the courtroom, she began to break down in tears. While Tajay was away serving his sentence, DeMario was completely dominating college football. Him deciding to redshirt his freshman year proved to be extremely beneficial because in only 7 games the following season, he was able to become one of the most talked about running backs in all of college football. For most athletes, the offseason is a time for rest and recovery, but for DeMario, he was catching flights back and forth all across the country. It seemed like every school in the nation was showing interest and wanted him to be a part of their program, but all he was interested in was the bag. And if I'm being honest, I don't blame him. But after all the visits were over, it became time for DeMario to make his decision. Now, growing up, he had always dreamed of playing for the Roll Tide in Alabama or the Ducks in Oregon, but in the end, he decided to stay at home and transfer to the Cal State Bears. Of course, a big bag of money came along with DeMario's commitment, and of course, like any other kid would his age, he went shopping. The first place he went was to the dealership, The whole 2 years he was at San Jose State, he was using Alexis's car to get around, so it was finally time he got something of his own. He ended up getting a brand new BMW M5. You know, a nice mix of speed and luxury. I think it was a pretty good choice. Next, he and Alexis went shopping for clothes. I mean, she held him down when he didn't have anything, so it was only right he returned the favor. Purses, shoes, belts, glasses, you name it, she got it. Now, I think the most honorable thing he did with the money was getting his mom the proper health care she deserved. DeMario was able to get her with a doctor that specializes in the disease that she has and also cover the money for a kidney transplant once the matching donor is found. Once the rush from his NIL check settled down, DeMario started to tighten up and lock in on what really mattered: school and football. He knew that the money was cool, but it definitely wasn't the end goal. His dream was bigger than the designer belts and fast cars. Plus, the people that gave him the money would be looking for him to step in and perform right away. Now, at the beginning of camp, there was a little bit of confusion about who was going to be the starter. As you can see, they had DeMario rated slightly higher than Javion Thomas, but the thing is, Javion was a senior who had already shown his loyalty to the program. Now, I was confused because why would they give DeMario all that NIL money to come there and be a backup? But I guess the coaches decided to make their decision based on the results of camp. Throughout camp, DeMario did his thing. He basically picked up right where he left off at San Jose State. He dominated each drill and he performed extremely well. At the end of camp, he was the clear favorite for the starting running back slot. If I'm being honest, I felt a bit sorry for Javion, but hey, this is a business and the coaches play the players to give the team the best chance to win. The first game of the season, the Cal Bears will be on the road, not too far away from home in Las Vegas, Nevada, taking on the UNLV Rebels. Yeah, the UNLV Rebels. Now, as you can see, they're playing at Collegiate Stadium, which is technically the Raiders Stadium, and that's also technically the biggest crowd that DeMario has ever played in front of, so I can only imagine how nervous he was. Now, it looks like here early on, he's getting a few solid touches out the backfield, and he's doing his thing, coming up just short 2nd and 1. Now, being that it is so early in the season, this is normally when the coaches would make a change, so it's very important for DeMario to have a good, solid first impression. That way he doesn't lose his spot. But hey, he's doing his thing so far. Here we are, 3rd and 2. Let's see, he got the blocking assignment, and he completely blew his blocking assignment, bruh. That last drive definitely didn't end as expected because, as you can see, the score is still 0-0, meaning that they missed the field goal. It's all good though. That was just the first drive of the season. Here we are on the team's 2nd drive, and it's not looking much better, man. A tackle for a loss, a sack, 3rd and 18. DeMario got the chip block and another sack. So far, looking at the game, I mean, it seems to be pretty clear that if the Cal Bears were able to protect their quarterback a little bit more, give him a little bit more time in the pocket, they wouldn't have an issue moving the ball. So hopefully in the second half, they can make some adjustments. That way they can get on the scoreboard. But for right now, we got 30 seconds left in this first half. Let's see what they can do. Looks like they got DeMario on the delayed route again. Oh, absolute dart over the middle. Did he score? Nah, he came up just short, but that's okay. It's time for DeMario to do what he does best, and that's find the end zone. There it is. Good defense by the Rebels. We're going to run it right back, though. 17 seconds left, no timeouts. Can he get in there? No. And like I said, bro, no timeout. So they're going to have to go into this hurry-up offense. Let me see what they're going to do with it. 9 seconds left. Quarterback got a clean pocket, and he throws it away. Now, the first half, bro, it wasn't much to talk about. I mean, DeMario was having some success on the ground, but the offense just seemed to not be able to get out of their own way. Here we are in this second half, 3rd and 2, quarterback keeper, and he fumbles, bro. This is what I'm talking about. 3rd and 2 again, right outside the goal line, and DeMario comes up close but gets stuffed. But it looks like while DeMario was on the sideline, Cal actually went for it and they were able to get a touchdown, giving them the 10-point lead. All right, so DeMario got the wheel route coming out the backfield. Now, I told y'all before, he definitely can play some slot receiver. Let's see. Oh, and he's able to score his first touchdown of the season, first touchdown of his sophomore season, man. I love to see it, especially considering he wasn't playing too well this game. This Cal team was able to pitch a shutout, winning 24-0 on the road, giving them their first win of the season. Now, the second game of the season would also be on the road, but I'm afraid the environment was a lot more hostile. As you can see, they were in the swamp, taking on the Florida Gators. Now, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, man, the Florida Gators were ranked number 16th in the nation, and they were also 2-0, so they were off to a pretty hot start. So it could be a pretty tough test for DeMario and the Bears. 3rd and 4, let's see what he could do with it. and he got stopped in the backfield for a loss. The Bears defense were able to hold the Gators to just a field goal, so I'm excited to see what this offense is going to do. Remember last week they kind of struggled in pass protection, but I mean they were able to make up for it later in the game. DeMario with a pretty solid one right there, 3rd and 1. Let's see what he does. Oh, good juke. Good juke. Way to get upfield, baby. All right, 2nd and 11. Let me see. DeMario on the curl route. Oh, good catch. Good hands. Good soft hands. Way to pick up the first down. I know it's still early, man, but this offense seems to be flowing together a lot better. I also need to go and check DeMario's yards per attempt because it seemed like every time he touched the ball, he either gets a first down or he's very close. Speaking of very close, almost scoring, here we go, 1st and goal. It's your time to shine, young man. Find the end zone. Find the end zone. Oh my God, bro. Now that was personal. That had to be personal. He struggled last week in the red zone and he completely ran through a naysayer's face mask right there, bro. I love to see it. All right, so look, we about to see what this team is really made of because this is the first time all season, and yes, I know it's just the 2nd game, but still, this is the first time that they've had to play from behind. So let's see how they perform when they're trailing. DeMario picking up the easy first down. What's up with the late hit? Oh yeah, that late hit was personal. That late hit was personal because he ran through Buddy Face a few plays ago. But anyways, man, it's all good. Huge 3rd down conversion. Here we go, 2nd and goal. Let me see what you gonna do with it, DeMario. Find the end zone. Yes, sir, man. Easy money, bruh. So Cal has the 1-point lead, but there's one thing I want you guys to kind of keep an eye on, and that is DeMario's health. As you can see, man, he's kind of taking a beat in this game, although he still has had a pretty good performance. So that's just something to kind of keep an eye on. As you can see, he just lost another bar. Looks like he's kind of sluggish, but hey, still able to pick up the first down. Here we go, 1st and 10. I got hung up in the backfield again. 2nd and 10. Let me see what he's gonna do with it. Come on, bro. Yeah, he's definitely injured. 3rd and 14, they still have the 1-point lead, so no point in throwing it right now. They give it to DeMario, and as you can see, he's struggling. DeMario will end the game with his health in the red, bruh. That's all bad, but luckily the Cal defense was able to stop the Gators from scoring, and they would pick up their 2nd win on the road. I gotta give it to them. They went out there and fought through all their injuries, and they'll be leaving with the dub. First home game of the season for the Cal Bears. Now, as you can see, the weather is nice. The stadium is packed. Man, this is the perfect weather for some football. So they'll be taking on the FCS team. I wouldn't necessarily say they're a tough opponent, but hey, if you're trying to work on some things, maybe incorporate a few new looks in the offense, this is definitely the team to do it against. All right, so here we go, 1st and 10. Looks like we got some RPO action. Uh-oh, he might score. DeMario with the key block. Man, I love to see it, bruh. Last week versus the Gators, this team ran a pretty balanced offense. They were able to mix in a few big runs and a few big pass plays. So let's see what they're able to do this week. And DeMario, yet again, making the defenders look foolish. I think it's official. We got to give him that shifty badge, bro. I think he's earned it, bruh. All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. DeMario over the middle, and he lost his footing. So they actually went ahead and settled for the field goal, taking a 10-point lead. I felt like he was just inches away from scoring if he would have been able to stay on his feet, but it's all good. Here we are at the beginning of the 2nd quarter, 4th and inches. Let me see. Give it to my boy. Juke move. Uh-oh. And he's gonna score with a little bit of sauce on the end, man. Hey, DeMario is a dog, bro. You can say what you want, man. He is a dog, and the fans are going crazy. We seen Buddy run through a naysayer's face mask just last game. Now this game, we watching him take people's ankles. He could catch, he could do everything. FCS was able to put 3 points on the board. Now the Cal Bears got the ball back. Let's see what this offense could do. And I thought DeMario was about to score his 2nd touchdown. If it wasn't for that touchdown saving tackle, bro, he would have scored. Here we go, man. We got this screen pass. Let me see what he gonna do with it. Team shifty. I thought he was finna score again, man. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Find the end zone. Easy money, man. 2nd touchdown of the game. The Cal Bears will walk away with their 3rd win of the season. 1st win at home, man. It's looking pretty good. Like I said, this team definitely has some potential. They got a lot of weapons. Let's move on to the next one. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons, or better known as the Double Ds, the DDs, the Demon Deacons. Anyways, yeah, man, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, they were actually 3-2 on the season. They pulled up to the Cal Stadium looking for that smoke. So let's see how DeMario and this Bear offense is going to respond. Now, here we are, 4th and 2. Of course, DeMario picks up the easy first down. Let's see if he's able to capitalize 1st and goal. Find the end zone like you always do, man. Easy, man. Easy. He's definitely improved on his red zone performance, man, because earlier in the season, it wasn't good at all. I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but if you look under DeMario's feet, you'll notice that he officially has that star. Yeah, he's officially an impact player on the team. Now, I feel like it came a little bit late, but hey, like they say, better late than never. Here he is taking the ball up the left-hand side of the field on the screen, and a little bit better blocking from that weak side. He probably could have scored, but hey, it's all good. First and goal. Let me see what he's going to do with it. And he finds the end zone just like he did before. 16 seconds left here in his first half. They got DeMario lined up in the slot. He's wide open over the middle. He calls for it, and the quarterback hits him for his third touchdown of the game. I keep telling y'all, bro, he could really be a slot receiver if need be. Jumping ahead to the second half, 3rd and 11, they got DeMario lined up in the slot in the same exact play that he just scored on in the first half. It looks like he's going to score again for his 4th touchdown in this game. I'll go ahead and say it, man. 4 touchdowns in one game is crazy. 2 on the air, 2 on the ground, and it looks like a 5th touchdown in one game. Now, I could be absolutely wrong. I could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it, but I'm pretty certain that bro just had to break some type of Cal record. It ain't no way anybody's ever scored 5 touchdowns in one game. Of course, the Bears picked up the victory at home, improving their record to 4-0. Of course, after a performance like that, it was expected for DeMario to take home both the Conference Player of the Week and also the College Football Player of the Week. But what totally caught me off guard was he was ranked number 2 on the Heisman watch list. Now, of course, this is just a watch list. Anything can change. It's still early in the season, but bro, listen, just having his name on that list brought him a whole new level of attention. It's finally that time, man. Yes, sir. It's finally that time of the season where you gotta show what you really made of. The big dogs is in front of you, so what you gonna do? Back at home, Virginia Tech, the number 4 ranked team in the nation, is right in front of you, man. Now, this couldn't have came at a better time because, as I just mentioned before, DeMario was on that Heisman watch list. All the attention was on him, and they taking on a top 5 ranked team. Man, you already know what time it is. The Bears jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and then Virginia Tech responded with a field goal. So here we are, man. Second quarter, DeMario coming out the backfield. There's nothing in front of him but broad daylight. Took Buddy's ankles. Is he gonna score? And he will for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Not only his 2nd touchdown, bro, that's the ESPN top 10. Explosive. That's really the only way to describe what we've been seeing from bro this whole season is explosive. But hey, man, there's still a lot more game to play. Here we are, 2nd and inches. I think he would have liked to get a little bit more, but hey, he picked up the first down. That's all that matters. 2-minute warning just hit. DeMario lined up in the slot. He set on the route and wide open over the middle. A little bit more speed. Had the quarterback let him a little bit more, he probably would have scored. 1st and 10. Uh-oh, wide open. That's touchdown. Just short. It's all good, though. Go ahead and get a ball to Mr. Reliable. Put the game on your shoulders, sir. Oh, easy money, man. Easy money. 21-6 here in the 3rd. Hey, man, it's starting to look a little ugly for them Hokie. Oh my God, bro. DeMario's first fumble this season. Luckily, the offense was able to retain possession, but you definitely do not want to be known for having issues holding on to the ball, man. So that's something we got to kind of keep an eye on going forward. But for right now, I think it was just a fluke, man. No big deal. 3rd and long. I'm kind of confused right now why they're going to be passing the ball, but hey, let's just see what happens. DeMario coming out the backfield. And just like I thought, man, an interception, bro. That was totally unnecessary. The Hokies were able to score following that interception, but if DeMario can pick up a first down right here, which he does, hey, man, I think he just called game, bro. DeMario and the Bears were able to upset the 4th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies at home, improving their record to 5-0 on the season. So it's official. The Cal Bears officially cracked the top 25 teams in the nation. Now, they're ranked right at the end at number 25, which honestly, I think is a little unfair considering they actually already beat 2 ranked teams. One of them on the road in one of the toughest environments in college football, and the other one was ranked in the top 5. But hey, it don't matter. Like I said, it's still a long season ahead of us, and I know that number is going to change. Anyways, they're actually on the road taking on UConn. UConn is 4-2 on the season, and they're ranked number 20, so it should be a pretty good matchup. Now, the Bears didn't have much success on their first possession, but I think this one might be a little bit different. Here we got DeMario. Looks like it's a draw play. Right up the middle, fighting for additional yards. Looks like he's going to be just short. They were able to pick up the first down, so here we go, 1st and 10. DeMario blocking. Ooh, good pass. Good dart over the middle, 1st and goal. 3 seconds left in this first quarter. Let me see what they can do with it. DeMario to the left-hand side of the field, and he skips in completely untouched, giving him his first touchdown of the game. And as we all see, bro, he's fired up. Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. UConn was able to go down and get a field goal, giving them the 3-point lead. So let's see if the Cal Bears can take the lead back before the second half. DeMario on the screen pass. Okay, I like to see it. Just short of the first down, man, 31. Let's see what he gonna do with it. Of course, he picks up the first down. A lot of daylight in front of him. The rusty spin move. Yeah, he definitely gonna have to work on that, man. That was hideous. They were able to work the ball down into the red zone. Just over a minute and a half left. Fighting for additional yards and touchdown, bruh. And you gotta love that extra effort. It's all about who wants it more. The Bears will go ahead and take possession coming out halftime. Now, of course, they have the 4-point lead. Let's see what they could do with it. They got DeMario coming out that backfield on a swing route, able to pick up the first down. Here we go, 1st and 10. A little bit of motion, a little bit of confusion. Who got the ball? Oh, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I was totally lost, bro. I had no idea who had the ball, and he'll take it like 50 yards for the touchdown. Listen, this is the 3rd ranked team that these boys done beat, and honestly, I think this was the most impressive. Now, DeMario had a pretty quiet day, but hey, a win is a win. Back at home versus yet another ranked team. I mean, come on, bro. This is starting to become a repeat occurrence. Now, obviously, y'all know I don't got nothing to do with the schedule making, but bruh, I would argue that Cal probably has one of the toughest schedules in all of college football. I mean, they got Clemson, bruh. Clemson, the 4th ranked Clemson team at home. I don't know, man. This might be an ugly one. As y'all can see, Clemson jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and the Cal Bears had a lot of issues with that defensive line their first drive. So let's see if things will change. DeMario picking up the easy first down on 3rd and 2. Right outside the red zone, we got 2nd and 7. Looks like they got DeMario blocking, and bro, he got Clemson defensive linemen all in his face, man. That's crazy. 2nd and goal. Let me see what they do. Wide open in the back of the end zone, and that was an amazing pass, bro. The touch on that pass was crazy, and that was an even better catch, man. All right, so here we are in the second half, man. It's a brand new game, 7-all. Let me see what Cal is gonna do, bro. It's time to take stage, man. It's time to perform. They got DeMario coming out the backfield wide open. Pick up that easy first down, man. Easy money. Easy money. I love to see it on 3rd and 10. Here we go, 2nd and 10. They got DeMario blocking. Ooh, beautiful pass. Hey, the quarterback is definitely doing his thing. Over the past few games, he's definitely impressed. Never mind, bro. Y'all see how that worked? Just as I was giving Buddy a compliment, he throws an interception. Now look at him trying to make up for it. Trying to run a 50-yard quarterback keeper to the house, man. It's not happening. Anyways, 14-7. We got just over 4 minutes left. So there's still plenty of time for Cal to come back. But look at DeMario's health, bro. Look at DeMario's health. This was a concern early in the season, but hopefully that's not going to impact him right now. 3rd and 11, we need it all, and we got nothing. That incompletion that you just saw was literally the last possession that Cal had all game. They kicked a field goal, but of course that wasn't enough, and Clemson went on to hand them their first loss of the season. All right, bro, listen, this is definitely the most important game of the season as the Bears are on the road taking on Syracuse. Now, the reason I say this is the most important game is because they're coming off of a loss. Now, of course, after a loss, I mean, a lot of things can happen. Either you can bounce back with the victory or you can completely self-destruct. Now, this is college football, so we know the rankings can get kind of funny. Even though they lost last week, they were ranked number 15. This week, the Cal Bears are actually ranked inside the top 10 at number 9. So, like I said, man, this is college football. Anything can happen, but let's see how they perform, man. Here we go on 2nd and 13. The quarterback finds the tight end wide open up the right-hand side for the first touchdown of the game. Now, on that first drive down the field, they seem to be able to move the ball with ease, mixing in a few run plays and a lot of big pass plays. So hopefully that's a sign of more good things to come. Here we are, 3rd and 5. DeMario coming out the backfield. They'll pick up the easy first down on the check down pass. Still tied at 7 starting the second quarter. I know it's only a matter of time before Syracuse starts stacking the box because, as you can see, bro, DeMario is killing them up the middle. 1st and 10. With the cutback, easy first down, completely untouched for like 20 yards. 1st and goal, man. You already know what time it is, man. It's money time. Come on, bro. Find that end zone. Find the end zone. Look at the patience. Look at the vision. Hey, man, count them in. Just over a minute and a half left before the halftime. Quarterback dropping back to pass. He has an extremely clean pocket, and he throws a dart over the middle, moving him right outside the red zone. Here we go. 1st and 10, 54 seconds left. Let me see what they're going to do with it. Okay, easy check down. Not bad, not bad. 2nd and 6. 40 seconds left. DeMario lined up at the slot, wide open. Hey, man, every time he's in that slot position, he's a weapon, man. I'm telling you. Jumping ahead to the beginning of the 3rd quarter, the Bears have an 11-point lead, and it's starting to look like they get ready to pull away. So I think this is a pretty good time to go ahead and acknowledge DeMario. Now, of course, the team has been playing very well, but DeMario in particular, He's made a lot of improvements since last season and the beginning of this season. Y'all notice we haven't had to worry about his pass blocking. Of course, his pass catching is still on point. His patience, his speed, his athleticism. I mean, look at him right here, bro. Another touchdown. Remember at the beginning of the season, he was struggling at the goal line, the first and goal, the second and goal. Now he's doing his thing. Look at him hit the Heisman, man. You just let us see the improvements. That's what it's all about for real. The Bears were able to pick up the easy victory on the road. Now, honestly, I was a little bit concerned after that loss with Clemson, but it looks like they back on track. After the win versus Syracuse, Cal moved up to the 5th ranked team in the nation, bro. So they're officially top 5. That's crazy. Now they have a pretty tough test this week versus NC State. Now I know when you look at their record, you're like, bro, tough test? They 2-7. But sometimes it's not about the team, bro. It's about the atmosphere. Look at the stadium noise. It's jam-packed in here. And as you just saw in that first drive, it resulted in a fumble, which was a turnover. So sometimes it's not all about your opponent, bro. It could be you mentally. It could be the crowd, the referees, all of that. So let's see what they do. Here we are, 4th and 4. DeMario takes the draw up the left-hand side, spinning, breaking tackles, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this young man. Here we go, 1st and 10, 34 seconds left in this first quarter. Easy check down over the middle. Hey, they in their bag, bro. They in their bag, man. All right, here we go, 2nd and goal. Go ahead and get that money. Go ahead and get, I thought he was going to break it and get in there. Let me see what he going to do on 3rd and goal. They're going to pass it. He coming out that backfield. Ooh, look at the soft touch, man. NC State answered right back with the touchdown of their own. So it's clear that they didn't come to just lay down. Okay, they got the option working. Remember in the first quarter, it was a fumble on that same exact play. So it's good to see they got everything fixed up. But like I was saying, bro, with only 2 wins on the season, NC State is not going to a bowl game. So this is their bowl game. They have the ability to upset a top 5 team. So you know they came to play. But anyways, DeMario found his way right back into the end zone. He letting the Heisman voters know, hey man, just like I said, they didn't come to play. They did not come to play. They actually have the lead at the beginning of the 4th. So a lot of things have changed since that last touchdown. So let's see what these Bears is going to do. Now, they've proved that they could play from behind, but of course, you don't want to stay behind because obviously that's a loss. So let me see. All right, they got DeMario on the flat route coming out the backfield, able to pick up the easy first down. Here we go, 30 inches. 30 inches. They in field goal range and incomplete. Now, honestly, I think that was a pass interference. I think that was pretty obvious, but they gonna go for it right here on 4th and inches, bro. This can actually seal the deal for real, for real. Okay, found DeMario, easy catch. New set of downs, 1st and 10. Looks like a little bit of RPO going. He'll pick up the first down. Ooh, big hit, way to hold on to it. 3rd and goal. Ooh, direct snap. Okay, a little bit of trickery with the direct snap. I like it. I told y'all, NC State wasn't playing around, bruh. They were able to tie the game up with a touchdown of their own. So now it's 21-all with just over a minute left in the game. Let's see what they could do. All right, we got 1st and 10. DeMario coming out. Oh, nice strike over the middle, bro. Oh, yeah, that moved him right into the field goal range. Now, see, here again, I am kind of worried about DeMario's health, but he don't even really need no first down. They're out of timeouts, and that'll do it, man. Cal was able to pick up a very, very tough win on the road versus a horrible NC State team, but hey, sometimes those teams are the hardest to beat. Finally back home in familiar territory, the 4th ranked, yes, the 4th ranked team in the nation, the Cal Bears. They'll find themselves in a rivalry game versus Stanford. Now, I'm extremely excited about this game because as you can see by the stands, bro, everybody and their mama showed up and showed out, man. So let's see what they could do. Quarterback keeper here on 3rd and 2nd, picking up the first down and much more. 3rd and 1, right outside the end zone. They got DeMario lined up in the slot. Or it was kind of like a screen pass, and he'll come up short, bro. 4th and 1. Oh, no, I thought they was going to go for the field goal, but they'll actually go for it. Okay, they got DeMario spread out wide. Let me see what he going to do with it. Let's see what that route running look like. Or actually, he just got a go route. Not much room to go, though. Uh-oh. Oh, and the toe tap finish, man. Hey, I'm not going to say it no more. If it's not clear that he could play slot receiver, then y'all must be blind at this point. Jumping ahead to the 4th quarter with just over a minute and a half left, the Cal Bears have a 7-point lead. And unfortunately, I don't know if this is good or bad, bro. There weren't very many highlights in this game. As you can see, we jumped all the way to the 4th quarter and the game is basically over. 1 first down and that should actually do it. But that's kind of how it is with rivalry games, bro. They're always close. The Bears were able to go ahead and pull off the victory in this rivalry game, increasing their wins in this series to 49 and their record to 10-1 on the season. Hey man, everything is starting to look good for this team coming up on the playoffs. Let's see what they got next. Yeah, bro, it's pretty much official at this point. Yeah, it's official that the Cal Bears definitely had the toughest schedule this season, as they'll be on the road taking on yet another ranked opponent, the 6th ranked SMU Broncos. Now, hold on. DeMario getting out on them early, man. Let me pay attention, bro. I'm over here yapping, man. 1st and 10, right inside that red zone. Yeah, let me lock in real quick. Okay, curl route. He's able to pick up the first down, 1st and goal. Y'all know, go ahead and give it to the moneymaker, man. Oh, maybe not. Okay, mixing it up a little bit. But yeah, man, like I was saying before everything kicked off, I was definitely not expecting Cal to start off so fast in this game. But yeah, they're facing yet another ranked opponent on the road. And speaking of ranking, they actually moved up a few spots to the 2nd ranked team in the nation. So, hey, man, let's see what they can do. Now, DeMario definitely has to improve on his performance from last week. Although he didn't necessarily struggle, it wasn't much to write home about, so he's definitely gonna have to do his thing this week. Here we go, 3rd and goal. The big sack will lead to a field goal. Here we are at the beginning of this 3rd quarter, down by 4 points. DeMario with the nice cutback up the middle, picking up the easy 1st down. When completely untouched, bro, his vision has definitely improved. All right, they got him blocking 2nd and 5. A nice pocket for the quarterback to deliver that nice pass out of. Got the out route. Okay, I think DeMario was open on that one, but it's all good, man. They'll pick up the 1st down. Here we go, 1st and 10. They got him on a chip block. Let me see what he gonna do. Okay, coming out that backfield. Ooh, now that was definitely a hospital ball. Luckily, he was able to hold on to it, but now it's time to get a ball to the money man. And hey, you gotta pay up, bruh. All right, here we go, man. 3-point lead at the beginning of the 4th quarter. DeMario's having a pretty solid game. As of late, he's been putting up just kind of normal numbers. Nothing too crazy, nothing to write home about, but hopefully he can find the end zone again before it's all said and done. Looks like they got him on a screen pass right here. He'll come up just short, 4th and goal. So the Bears are up by a touchdown right now with just under 2 minutes left in the game. I think a few more 1st downs should seal it, but of course it is way too early to call. Like right here, 3rd and 14, a minute left. I honestly think they should keep the ball on the ground. I don't agree with throwing it, but hey, that was a dart. That was a dart over the middle, man. Everybody's fired up, and I think that'll do it. Here they are in victory formation as they knock off yet another ranked opponent on the road. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but I think next week they'll probably be the #1 team in the nation. And of course, I was absolutely right, man. The Cal Bears are officially the #1 ranked team in the nation, sitting at 11-1 on the season. But hey, this game is very special as it is the ACC championship game. They'll be taking on Florida State. Now, Florida State is sitting at 7-5, but like I told y'all before with NC State, man, every team is dangerous at this point because every time a team doesn't have much to play for, it can match up against a top-ranked team in the nation. That's going to be their Super Bowl. So as you can see, bruh, very close game as it is still 0-0. We had a scoreless 1st quarter, and the Cal Bears will take a huge sack. 2nd and 18. They dug themselves in a hole. Let's see what they can do. Ooh, nice juke. Uh-oh, he might score. You bet not get hawked down. Come on. Bruh. Yeah, man, it was a little bit too good to be true, but DeMario broke off like an 80-yard run. And of course, man, Mr. Reliable in the red zone. Look, I ain't trying to glaze or nothing like that, but every time bro breaks off a crazy run like that, I can't help but think about how dope it's gonna look on his highlight tape. Like, that's gonna be crazy. But anyways, man, they got just over 40 seconds left before halftime. Let's see if they can find that end zone again. Okay, got the curl route, picking up that 1st down. 30 seconds left, 1st and 10. They got DeMario on a chip block. Ooh, nice hands. Okay. Here we go, 3rd and goal. You already know what time it is. 13 seconds left. Mr. Reliable, man, find the end zone. Hey, man, almost 100%. I mean, I know he's not 100% on the season, but he's almost perfect, man, when it comes to finding that end zone in the red zone. So the tides are finally starting to turn, and it looks like that they might do it. Yeah, man, they might do it. But nah, man, the Cal Bears have a pretty comfortable lead with just over 4.5 minutes left in this game. I think one more touchdown would officially seal the deal and get them the ACC championship. So let's see if they can find their way down there. Here we go, 1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. DeMario on the draw. Hey, man, he's got some good vision and definitely some good patience. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Here we go, 2nd and 3. Okay, a little bit of RPO. Can he get in there? And yes, he can. And like I said, bro, one more touchdown should definitely do it. They know it. Look at him. And it is official. They were able to win the ACC championship. Now, of course, the season is far from over, and next they have the playoffs. But for right now, they celebrate. The first round of the college football playoffs are upon us, and as you can see, Cal Bears are taking on North Carolina Tar Heels at the Fiesta Bowl. Now, for some reason, Cal dropped down one spot from the number 1 ranked team in the nation to number 2, but no big deal, man. Ranking doesn't matter at this point. Now we in the playoffs. I mean, it kind of does, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, North Carolina, they actually pretty good on the season, sitting at 10-3, ranked number 7. Let's see what we got, man. All right, they got DeMario back blocking. Ooh, absolute dart over the middle, or over the top, excuse me. 1st and goal. Okay, they got DeMario on that wheel. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. What is this? Late hit? Oh, no, is that a pass interference? Oh, yeah, pass interference on the defense, man. Move that ball up. You may taking DeMario out for some reason. Come on, man. And like I said, the coaches ended up taking DeMario out. I don't know what that was all about, but it's all good, bro, because not only did they score, bro came back into the game and pulled off a huge run. Here we are, 1st and goal. Came up just short. Give it to him again, man. Give it to him again, man. Come on, bro. Don't start with that, bro. 3rd and goal. They got him on the RPO. Come on, bro. So yeah, this game is kind of weird. I don't know what's going on. Like, is DeMario hurt or what's the deal? I mean, the first time they was in the red zone, they took him out. And then they go to the red zone a second time and he gets stopped twice. So maybe it's something I don't know. But anyways, here we are, 2nd and 20. He's able to get 7 yards, 3rd and 13. We need a conversion. And for some reason, he goes to a check down. Huge credit to the Cal defense as they were able to hold the Tar Heels to only 3 points during the game. And as you can see, they were able to pull off the 1st round victory in this Fiesta Bowl over the Tar Heels. I mean, it was a kind of odd game. DeMario did his thing, but anyways, we on to the next. So here we are, bro. Here we are, man. This is hands down the most anticipated game. I'm excited as hell right now. Cal was taking on the 11th ranked Colorado Buffaloes. Now, this isn't just any Colorado Buffaloes. This is the Coach Prime, Deion Sanders led Colorado Buffaloes. Y'all know they got Marshall Faulk and all those other dudes on the squad now. So let's see what they could do, man. We should be in for a pretty good game. Now, as you can see, the Buffaloes already scored, jumping out to a 7-0 lead. Let's see if Cal can answer back. Here we are, 3rd and 5. They got DeMario on the swing route. Okay, the quarterback got time. Nice strike over the top. Okay, moving them into the red zone. 1st and 10. Let me see what they're going to do. Okay, a little bit of play action. That the tight end. The tight end might score. Comes up just short. You already know what time it is, man. It's money time. Oh, no, the RPO for the touchdown. Okay. Jumping ahead to the 2nd quarter. Still 7-all. They got DeMario on the screen pass. Ooh, nice juke. Took some ankles right there. Didn't get the 1st down, but it's all good. Here we go, 3rd and 11 coming out the backfield. Look for my guy. Ooh, wide open. And the flag. What's the flag? Oh, no. Was it a block? Oh, illegal block in the back on DeMario. Damn. So credit to the Cal defense. They were able to keep the Buffaloes off the scoreboard. So there's a minute and a half. No, that was the worst possible thing that could have happened. The interception, of pick 6 for the Buffaloes. I was just finna say they weren't able to score, but obviously I was wrong. All right, man. We got a minute and 18 seconds left. Let's see if they can make up for that. And they will. He's going to score. He got hogged down. Okay, 2nd and goal. Let me see. Got the screen pass for DeMario. Find the end zone, young sir. Yeah, man, 14-all. Jumping ahead to this 3rd quarter, the Buffaloes were able to get a field goal coming out of halftime, but it was just a field goal, so the Cal Bears are still in pretty good position. Hey, but not that defender, bro. DeMario took his ankles. Let's see, 3rd and 1. Let me see what they're going to do with it. DeMario coming out the backfield on that swing route. Easy first down. Okay, looks like they got him on the screen. He's on fire, as y'all can see. Give him the ball. What are you doing? The quarterback wanted the best option. Come on, bro. All right, man, 1st and 10. They send in a blitz. Man, DeMario definitely could have blocked better on that one. 2nd and 16. Draw play. We need a lot more than that, bro. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Another blitz coming, and he completely missed his blocking assignment, resulting in a sack. So, of course, they kicked the field goal to tie the game. Here we are at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Still a lot of time left, and there is no time left for that, bro. What are you doing? Another interception. Is that another interception? Not just an interception, but another pick 6 to Colton Hood, bro. Come on, man. So right before that pick 6, I was just about to say there's still a lot of time left in the game, so there's no need to panic, but wow. Another interception, bro. Literally took the words out of my mouth. Another interception. The Buffaloes were able to pull off the huge upset versus the number 2 ranked Cal Bears. Unfortunately, this is not the way we wanted to see DeMario's season end, but that's just how it goes, man. DeMario's breakout sophomore season took the college football world by storm. He managed to take home just about every major award there was, and by the time it was all said and done, he was sitting front row at the Heisman ceremony. The race for the Heisman was extremely close. It seemed like every day there was a new frontrunner expected to take home the trophy. But when the winner was announced, it was DeMario on stage behind the podium giving his acceptance speech. There was no time for rest after the ceremony. It seemed like every sports show and podcast in the country wanted a one-on-one sit-down with DeMario. He had officially become the most talked about athlete in the country. While he was out busy on his press tour, his mom was back home conducting interviews with sports agents. It was official. DeMario was going to the league. The NFL Draft Combine was the next big event on the schedule. Of course, DeMario was invited, but no one knew for sure if he would actually participate. His agent felt that he had already proven himself to scouts, so there was really no need. But of course, DeMario had plans of his own. The only drill he took part in was the 40-yard dash, and as a running back, that's by far the most important drill there is. A good time here could move you up a few slots, and a bad time could drop you down a few notches as well. DeMario went out there and ran a 4.31, which was the fastest time for a running back in this year's draft. He was expected to run somewhere between a 4.35 and a 4.77, so he officially proved to NFL scouts that his speed was real. Draft night came, and that officially meant that all the hard work was complete. The only thing left to do was to sit back and hear his name get called. DeMario hung out backstage in the green room with friends and family. You could tell he was a bit nervous, but of course that's understandable. A few teams that he spoke to at the combine gave him their word that he was their guy, but when the time came, they didn't draft him. Well, about halfway through the first round, his dream would finally come true as the Las Vegas Raiders officially selected him with the 13th overall pick. The time has finally come. Yeah, man, it's time for DeMario's first NFL game, man. He's finally in the big leagues, and I'm excited to see how he's going to perform. Now, as you can see, they're on the road taking on the New York Giants. Over the offseason, the Giants added on a few new pieces like Russell Wilson at the quarterback slot and a few new draft picks. But keep in mind, the Raiders also got Geno Smith and, of course, DeMario in the backfield. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out, so let's hit the field. All right, so the Giants were able to jump out to a 3-0 lead, but it's all good, man. DeMario takes the handoff up the field. Okay, not bad for his first professional handoff, man, picking up 6 yards. 2nd and 4. They'll give it to him again. Let me see if he can get that first down. Okay, way to fight for it, that second effort. Here we go, 2nd and 12, man, coming out the backfield on that wheel route. Uh-oh, they looking for him. Oh, good soft hands up the field, and he might score. He might score. Picking up right where he left off from college, man, having a huge impact in the passing game, man. Speaking of passing, the first touchdown of the Raiders season, Geno Smith is able to connect with Trey Tucker. Giving the Raiders 6, they'll go ahead and take the lead here in this first quarter. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. As you can see, DeMario has elected to wear the Guardian protective cap. And quite honestly, I agree with him. Of course, he plays that running back position, and almost every single play he's receiving some form of contact. So, I agree with that extra layer of protection, but of course, there's been a little bit of backlash. A lot of people don't really like it. But I would like to know what y'all think, man. Comment down below. Y'all let me know, should DeMario get rid of the Guardian cap, or do you agree with that extra layer of protection? After a huge sack on the previous play, the Raiders are sitting at 2nd and 25. DeMario lined up out wide, and he is wide open, but yet another sack, man. Now, I'm hoping this offensive line can figure things out. They've given up several sacks, and also right there's another tackle for loss. 3rd and 14. Let me see what they're going to do with it. DeMario coming out the backfield, he might pick up the first, but looks like he's just 1 yard short. I'm not sure if I agree with them keeping the offense on the field right now, but never mind, he might score. Like I said before, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, DeMario will score his first touchdown of his rookie season. What is that, like 85 yards? That's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it now, man. I see it already, that touchdown being on SportsCenter top 10. But anyways, jumping ahead to the second half, the Raiders have a 4-point lead on the Giants. Hopefully they can pick up where they left off. Now, as I was watching the game, I noticed DeMario disappeared, and then a few plays later, I got this notification that he wouldn't be able to return for the rest of the game due to a dislocated ankle, bruh. Now, the Raiders did go on to win the game 21-14, but unfortunately, along with that victory came a huge loss. After the game, we got the news that the injury was pretty severe, and unfortunately, DeMario would miss 7 weeks. 7 weeks of his rookie season, he would be out for due to a dislocated ankle. I don't think any of us seen this coming, but hey man, it just is what it is. Immediately after DeMario went down with his injury, the team flew him out to Tampa, Florida. Oceanside Hospital is one of the best hospitals in the country, and they have a doctor there that specializes in DeMario's type of injury. He sat down and met with the specialist for about an hour or so, and they mapped out a plan on how to approach the surgery. The doctor gave DeMario 2 choices to consider. He could have a specialized robot perform the surgery, and he would be back on his feet a week or 2 earlier than expected. But that would be a lot more painful compared to if the doctor himself performed the surgery, and he'd probably miss about 9 or 10 weeks. Of course, we know DeMario wanted to get back on the field ASAP, so he went with the robot. That was his first time ever being seriously injured, so of course he was nervous as hell. Not only that, but his mom and Alexis wouldn't get in town until the day after the surgery, so that meant he was all alone. Once it was over, the doctor said everything went smooth and the surgery was a success. Doctors told DeMario that he could potentially return to the field a week earlier than expected, but that would be based on how his rehab goes. The only thing on his mind was football, but for the next 2.5 weeks, he'd be laying in a hospital bed recovering. Once released from the hospital, DeMario flew back to Vegas and got straight to work. The team sent out a personal trainer to oversee his recovery program, and the 2 of them butted heads the whole time. DeMario wanted to jump right back into heavy, intense training, but nah, the trainer had Buddy doing water aerobics. Next on the schedule was yoga, and he hated that even more than the workouts he had to do in the pool. The team sent a yoga specialist out to DeMario's crib twice a day for a week straight. Like I mentioned in the beginning, he hated it, but once he noticed that his balance was improving along with his ankle strength, he really bought in. Finally, after weeks of training, DeMario was cleared for running, jumping, and sprinting. He immediately got on a treadmill and started putting in work. Just a few days after that, he was cleared to return to practice and participate in light contact drills as well. After 6 long weeks of recovery, DeMario was finally able to return back to the game he loved. But unfortunately, things went all bad while he was away. The team was sitting at the bottom of the conference with a horrible record of 2-6. That meant they only won 1 single game while he was gone. Not only that, but the fans were beginning to say that drafting him so early was a mistake. DeMario had a lot to prove. In week 7 at home versus the Broncos, he finally had his chance to shut up all the doubters. Alright, so look, we finally back in action. Yeah, it's finally game time after 7 long weeks. DeMario is finally back from injury. Now, of course, as you can see, the Raiders are at home. I mean, they haven't really been having too good of a season though, because they're sitting at 2-6. Only 2 wins, bruh. They'll be taking on the 4-4 Broncos, who honestly aren't really having that much of a better season, but let's see how it goes, man. All right, 2nd and 10, they got DeMario in motion out that backfield on the wheel route. 1 good block, and he didn't get it. 1 good block could have sealed that edge, and I think he might could have had a touchdown. But anyways, man, there's one thing we got to go ahead and acknowledge, and that is, of course, DeMario is no longer wearing the Guardian protective hat. Now, a lot of the fans and a lot of the haters both were saying that that's why he got injured. Somehow they believe that Guardian hat made him dislocate his ankle. Now, I don't know how that works. Maybe it's like the Madden curse or something like that, but as you can see, man, he's no longer wearing it. So let's see if that somehow affects his performance. So far, he's having a pretty good game. Looks like they got a little bit of play action right here. Okay, Geno Smith over the middle with a dart. But yeah, like I was saying, so far he's had a pretty good game through the air. Just like I told y'all, man, he could always switch to slot receiver if need be, but we ain't really worried about that no more. And that's one thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, man. The offensive line. Now, normally, you know, when a team is losing, you can always blame it on the quarterback. But in this case, this one specific case, I definitely think the offensive line is the reason this team is where it's at today. But looks like we got the halfback screen, DeMario out the backfield. And just like I said, man, he's definitely a threat when it comes to passing. Jumping ahead 3rd and 10. Down by 21, bro. I just realized they was losing by so much. And another sack, bro. That offensive line, man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. 31-0 towards the end of the 3rd quarter. It's not looking good, man. DeMario hasn't had much success on the ground. It's mainly been through the air. So I don't know what that is a result of. Maybe it's a little bit of rest. I don't know, man. It is his first game back, but here we go. They got him blocking. Geno standing tall in the pocket, and he throws a beautiful interception to the defense, man. What you just saw right there is pretty much an example of what I've been seeing all season while DeMario is out. After that interception, the coaches took the starters out the game, and of course the Raiders went on to lose 38-0 at home. So we're about halfway through the season, and if you look, bro, Geno Smith has thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. At first I was blaming it just all on the offensive line, but nah, bro, he got to take responsibility for that. At least a little bit of it. Golly. Anyways, Raiders back on the road, man, taking on the Chirac Bears. You know, the Chirac Bears. Anyways, yeah, they in Chicago taking on the 4-5 Bears. They sitting at 2-7 on the season, and Geno Smith is at it again, running for his life. I'm sick of it at this point. Anyways, DeMario got the ugly route. I don't know what. Listen, I'm trying to stay calm, bro, but the more and more I watch this team, the more and more I get pissed off. Jumping ahead to the second quarter, the Bears still had that 3-0 lead, and it looks like DeMario just told me to shut up all that talking as he takes it to the house for like a 60-yard touchdown. Bro, it seems like at any moment he can change the game. Those huge runs are next level, man. I love to see it. After that run, the entire momentum of the game shifted into the Raiders' favor, and they were actually able to get a stop and get possession of the ball back with just under a minute and a half left before halftime, man. So let's see if they can put something up on the scoreboard. Now, taking a look at DeMario's stats, he's 6 for 6 when it comes for receptions. 6 targets, 6 receptions. So that's great, man. Geno Smith dropping back. Okay, throwing dimes over the top of the defense. Okay, let me see what he can do. 42 seconds left. DeMario coming out the backfield, wide open over the top. Hey, man, I love to see it, my boy. Geno Smith throwing dimes, man. I don't know where this guy has been all season, but it looks like he might be back. That was a perfectly placed ball, man. He put the balls in the perfect spot.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, so we here in this third quarter, and the Raiders got a pretty solid lead, man. So I'm hoping they can go ahead and add on to it. Looks like DeMario on a draw play up the middle. Look at his vision, bro. I'm extremely impressed with his vision and his patience so far. He's got 98 yards on the day, so I'm pretty sure he's going to crack 100, of course. Geno Smith looking for DeMario again and throws it directly to the goddamn defender. I'm sick of this nigga. I was just giving him props and credit on his ball placement, but he placed the balls into the hands of the defense, man. So after that interception, the Bears, of course, narrowed the lead down to just 5 points. So, hold on. Open field, man, and DeMario will do it again. A 75-yard touchdown, his second of the day. Hey, man, he's really that dude, man. What more can you say about that guy? DeMario has definitely put this team on his back the same way he did while he was in college. I'm extremely impressed with him, man. I hate that he got injured early on in the season, but I know it's a part of the game. And speaking of injury, a few plays later, he actually got injured again, and he would be taken out for the remainder of the game. The Raiders went on to win 35-23 on the road in a pretty solid victory. Now, unfortunately, DeMario did go down with the injury, but it looks like he should be good to go by next game. The next opponent on the schedule was the 3-8 Washington Commanders at their house. Now, as you can see, DeMario is jumping around, bouncing around, so that means he should be ready for action. So let's take the field and see how he does. Starting off 1st and 10, he gets the handoff up the middle, bouncing into the outside with the spin move, the slow, rusty spin move, but it's all good, man. It worked. Yeah, it served its purpose. It's all good, man. Way to pick up the first down. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Looks like they got DeMario on the curl route coming out the backfield. Okay, nice pass by Geno Smith. Hitting the tight end up the sideline, moving him right inside the red zone. Let me see what it's going to be. DeMario coming out the backfield in the middle, wide open. Way to find the end zone. Yeah, it looks like he's definitely healthy, man. Nothing to worry about. The Commanders went down and got a touchdown of their own. I mean, although their record isn't very good, you still got to kind of be cautious because they still got that boy Jaden Daniels and his mom commanding the offense. So, yeah, man, it should make out for a pretty good game. DeMario picking up the first down through the air. Okay, looks like he's the go-to target on this one. Let me see what he's going to do in this route. He got 2 options. Broke it out to the outside. Ooh, good soft hands and way to get up. Ooh, okay. Hey, he's definitely doing his thing, man. First to goal. Hey, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 46 yards. After that play, DeMario went to the sideline and Geno Smith was able to find Jacoby Myers for a dart in the end zone. It's always good when the team has the ability to score with their best player on the sideline. Jumping ahead to the second quarter, the Raiders still got that 7-point lead, so hopefully they can actually add another touchdown on the scoreboard before halftime. DeMario was able to pick up the first down. Let me see what he's going to do with it. This dude is a menace, bro. He be giving defenders hell. I love his vision and his patience, man. All right, 2nd and 4. Coming out the backfield. Wide open. Okay, way to pick up the first down. Soft hands. Okay. Hey, man, his yards after catch is crazy as well. Here we go. 1st and 10, right outside the red zone. They got him on the go route. What's he going to do? Everybody covered. Uh-oh, he coming back for it. I couldn't hang on to it. Damn, bruh. He been doing this thing. Whoa, what the hell type of ditty they got going on? So, of course, they weren't able to capitalize on the good field position and ended up just settling for a field goal. And the Commanders went down and scored. Just like I expected, man. This game is going to be a shootout, but with just under 2 minutes left in this first half, let's see if they can put something else on the scoreboard. Geno Smith with the clean pocket, able to find a strike over the middle. Okay, let me see. 1st and 10, 26 seconds left. DeMario on the wheel route, coming out the backfield, turning it upfield. Ooh, way to make up for it. Way to make up for it, man. DeMario finds the end zone for, what is that, his second touchdown of the game, showing off his soft hands. Dude is really a dual threat. I know I keep saying it, but it's the truth. Jumping ahead to this fourth quarter, man, looking down at the scoreboard, you realize just how quickly the game can change. I mean, for the majority of the game, the Raiders have been leading, but now they're trailing by a touchdown with just under 9 minutes left. Geno Smith standing in the pocket after a holding call there at 2nd and 20, and after that sack, they're at 3rd and 31, bro. Luckily, this Raider defense was able to get a stop, so there's still a chance for the Raiders to come back and win. Got the screen pass right here. Didn't go for much. 3rd and 4. It's still time on the clock, man. They can still do it. Wide open up the left-hand side of the field, and he will take it to the house, bro. Hey, I got to give Geno Smith his props. He's definitely clutch when he wants to be. Half the time, I don't know what he's doing, but the other time, he really that dude. But of course, as you know, 1.5 minutes left in the NFL is an eternity. The Raiders left way too much time on the clock, and Jaden Daniels was able to lead his team to the victory. Coming off a close loss like that last week is definitely tough. I mean, any athlete will tell you that you'd rather get blown out than lose a close game. So I'm not sure how the team is going to perform this week, but luckily they're back at home taking on the 5-7 Tennessee Titans. So hopefully they can get some energy from this home crowd. It is still packed. You know, they're still showing their support. Ooh, nice catch by T-Mac. He might score. He almost scored, man. Hey, I mentioned that energy, bro. I think it's in the building. After a catch like that, man, it's hard not to feel energized. 2-yard line, okay. Yeah, man, they off to a hot start. Yeah, I like what I see so far. Of course, the Titans came back with the touchdown of their own, so we might have a shootout on our hands. But with the offensive line giving up sacks like that, yeah, it's going to get ugly very quickly. They've been kind of trash all season. I'm going to just call it what it is. 3rd and 15, DeMario on the wheel route. Ooh, look at those hands, man. Look at those hands. As a matter of fact, forget the hands. Look at the drip. The matching visor, mouthpiece, and shoes and sleeve. Come on, bro. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, man. Rate DeMario's drip down in the comment section down below. Now, keep in mind, the Raiders' colors are just black and silver, so it's not really too much you can do with that. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing what he can, and I like it. Uh-oh. Okay, I thought he's finna score. Anyways, moved him 1st and goal. It's DeMario time. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. Find the end zone, sir. Thank you so much. Just like he did it. Wait, I'm stuttering and shit. Just like he did at Cal, man. He's a goal line menace. All right, so look, it's time to lock in. So the defense went out there and got the stop, gave the Raiders the ball back. Yeah, man, we need to lock in. We need some productivity, and that is exactly what we do not need. Now, I understand the blocking don't be the best at times, but come on, Geno. You got to give us something to work with, my boy. Right there, just like I was saying before, he can be a dog when he wants to. It's like he can turn it on and turn it off. I don't know what's with buddy. Ooh, good cut, good vision. And right on time when you need him the most, DeMario scores, taking it to the house. I don't know how many yards that was, but it was beautiful. His vision is next level. His speed, his breakaway speed is next level. Hey, man, get a boy the Heisman. Well, he already won the Heisman, but you know. All right, man, the Raiders might got him one. They might have a home victory. I don't know, man. It's looking pretty good. Although the defense did just give up a touchdown, the Raiders still had a lead. Let me see what they're going to do with it. Here we go, 3rd and 2. Mario coming out the backfield. They looking his way. Nice catch. Way to pick up the first down. Okay. Looking good. 3rd and 9. Ball on the 21-yard line. Let me see. They got DeMario on the curl route outside. Oh, wide open. Good hands, baby. Good hands and good vision by that boy Geno Smith. And I think, honestly, I think that sealed the deal. Finally, the Raiders were able to pick up a win at home, beating the Tennessee Titans 35-28. Another home game for this Raiders team. This time they'll be taking on the 7-6 LA Clippers. And no, that's not right. Excuse me. The LA Chargers. Every time I see LAC, I think of the Clippers. The LA Chargers. I got to put some respect on their name because they having a pretty decent season. A lot better than the Raiders. They are in the playoff hunt. So excuse me. Anyways, hopefully they can pick up where they left off. The Raiders, that is, with the win at home. Nice toe tap and catch. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4. They got DeMario out wide on a post route. I don't know what type of route he was running. That's not what he was supposed to do, but it's all good. They were able to pick up the first down. 2nd and 2. 12-yard line. Come on, DeMario. Everybody know the ball going to him. And he got stopped. Don't even look like Buddy tried. Come on, man. One thing that's not often talked about, I mean, I know everybody knows this, but it's kind of like an elephant in the room. Nobody wants to say it out loud. It's like a gift and a curse being drafted high. I mean, although you get all the accolades, all the money and all of that, but the team you go into, odds are they're trash. So for example, I mean, DeMario, although he missed 7 games this season, he's still in the top 10. I believe he's in the top 5 in rushing yards. He's having a hell of a year. But I mean, who cares when your team is sitting at 4-9? Hopefully they could pick up a win right here and turn things around, but we'll see. Anyways, Geno Smith got a clean pocket and he delivers a dart. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it because it was off the screen, but hey, they'll go ahead and take the lead. Who is that? Okay, my boy T-Mac. Okay. Freaky ass dude. Jumping ahead to the 3rd quarter, man, just over a minute left. Look down at the scoreboard and you can see that something happened and it was not good for the Raiders because now they're trailing by 14, man, but there's still a little bit of time on the clock. Obviously, they still have another quarter, but they definitely need some production. So let's see what they can do. Ooh, good catch. Way to get up there, DeMario. Ooh, good stiff arm too. He came to play, man. A man on the mission. Here we go, 1st and 10. They got DeMario out wide, running the crossing route. Geno Smith in the pocket. Okay, did they pick up the first? Okay, way to pick up the first. 3rd and 7 right here. We need something big. DeMario over the middle. And he lost his footing, man. It's all good. 1st and goal. Find the end zone. Get in there. Easy money, man. Easy money. Mr. Reliable. Anytime it's in the red zone, give him the ball, he gonna score. But unfortunately, that touchdown came too little, too late, and the Raiders suffered a loss at home. It was actually a pretty close game, but yeah, bro, it's all bad. Man, y'all let me know, bro. Y'all ready for another beatdown? Let me know, bro. Let me know. Y'all ready for another spanking, man? Let me know. Nah, I'm playing, bro. I'm gonna try to be positive. I mean, it's hard to be positive when your team is sitting at 4-10 and the team they're playing beat them at 39-0 the first time they played this season. It's hard to have some positivity, but you know what? I'm gonna dig deep and I'm gonna bring out the P in me. The P is for positivity. Anyways, as you can see, man, the Raiders are back on the road taking on the 7-7 Denver Broncos. And like I said before, the last time they faced this season, DeMario was just coming back from injury. No excuses, but they did beat them 39-0. That's pretty embarrassing, but hopefully we have a different result this go round. The Raiders got the 3-0 lead. Okay, Geno Smith is in his bag early on in this 1st quarter. Okay. 9 seconds left. They got DeMario on that. What's that, the wheel route? Oh, come on, bro. You ain't even jump for the ball. Jumping ahead midway through this 3rd quarter. If you look down at the scoreboard, things may seem like they've gotten out of hand, but the scoreboard and the actual game can tell 2 totally different stories. It's actually been pretty close. It's only an 8-point lead. And honestly, I feel like the Raiders have all the momentum at this point. I mean, look at my boy DeMario right there. Yeah, you see him. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Good clean pocket. Good blocking. Okay, Geno Smith, finally. This is what I've been needing to see from my boy. Don't scramble to the left or the right, bro. Scramble upfield. Okay, way to stand strong in there. Okay. The ball could have been placed a little better, but it's all good. 3rd and 8. Look at DeMario wide open. Come on, bro. We needed that. But just like I said, all the momentum was on the Raiders' side, so they had to settle for a field goal. The last drive, they might score. Like I said, they had to. Oh, he fumbled. Did they get it back? Okay, yeah, they got it back. All right, come on, man. 2nd and goal. Get in there. He was able to break the plane, but he slammed his ass on his dome. It's all good, though. He got the touchdown. That's all that matters, man. We're here in the 4th quarter. It's time to take stage, man. This is where champions are born, man. We here in the 4th quarter, down by 4 points. Still plenty of time left in the game. Hey, if Geno keeps slinging it like that, hey, they might do a little something with it, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, here we go. 4th quarter, Geno clean pocket, wide open over the middle. Beautiful. Okay, good second effort too. You already know what time it is. Look for my boy DeMario. He got the wheel route to the outside. Look for him. Ooh, and he reeled it in. Good catch, baby. Good soft hands and good ball placement by my boy Gino. Hey, you can do your dance when you catching balls like that. What? 8 seconds left on the clock, bruh. This is for the game. All we need is a touchdown. We ain't got time for no field goal. Gino's throwing it. What's gonna happen? Oh, there's a flag. It's a flag on the play, bro. Pass interference, defense. You already know what that means. Move the ball up, knock this field goal down, man. Let's take this W and get up out of here. Easy money, man. Count me in. Count me in, man. Easy money. Finally, the Raiders were able to get revenge on the Broncos, picking up the win on the road, man. That has to feel good after getting blown out earlier this season. So after a long season that had its ups and downs, of course, DeMario missed 7 whole entire weeks, but still several ups and downs, man, several losses, very few ups. But anyways, after a long season, we have finally reached the final game. Now, of course, there is still one more game left in the season, but the Raiders are officially out of playoff contention, so the starters will not be playing the last game of the season. So here they are back in LA, DeMario back at home taking on the Chargers. Now, y'all know just a few games ago, the Chargers did beat the Raiders at home, so hopefully they can get some get back, man. Here we go, first and goal. You already know what time it is. It's money time. Find the end zone, young sir. Yes, sir, man. He had to do it in front of the home crowd, man. Finally back in Compton. I mean, although they are in LA, but you know, LA, Compton, LA, same thing. You get it? Will you give me a break, will you? So now that we're finally here at the end of the season, I think it's time we do a little bit of reflection. I mean, DeMario, he had a pretty good season. Unfortunately, with the injury, he didn't play enough games to be eligible for, you know, Rookie of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year, anything like that. But even with the injury, he still finished top 5 in rushing yards. He didn't have as many touchdowns as I know he would have liked, but still, he did his thing. Now, he has to work on the fumbling. That's one thing I have noticed. He just fumbled right there. Luckily, they were able to secure it. 3rd and goal. You got a guy wide open, Gino, and you throw it to the defense. Come on, my boy. Come on, my boy. Like, I mean, the dude was wide open next to DeMario. But, hey, we've seen this all year, man. But anyways, before I was rudely interrupted by Geno Smith's horrible passing play performance, I don't know, dude is trash. Listen, it's the end of the season. I could be honest now, dude is trash, man. At least this year. I know he had some years in the past where he did some good stuff, but this year, trash. Anyways, do me a favor, man. I want y'all to be brutally honest with DeMario. In the comment section down below, write down a grade. Give him a grade, a A, a B, B- on his performance this season. Now, don't just worry about all the stats. Worry about the overall performance, and also take into consideration he is still a rookie. And there's another interception. Just like earlier in the season, the Raiders suffered defeat at the hands of the Chargers, this time losing a little bit closer than before, but a loss is still a loss.